Back injured by a car. The doctor said I might have amnesia. I joked and asked, "Who is the boyfriend who stays in front of my hospital?" He paused and said, "We are ordinary friends." Where is the high-quality novel? Union Bobo brings you the full text to the end. Wonderful story is waiting for you. The text of the baby starts. I watched sit in front of my hospital bed. Qin Zhang, who says the 4 words of ordinary friends. He has a cold expression. Alienate. Not like joking. I cheated you at that time. The stubborn stalk is in the throat. I can only look at him quietly. I think if the doctor didn't call him, he may not appear in the hospital. But I didn't question. Just pause. Then pretend to be a smile without any matter. Yeah. That's really trouble you. He comforted the doctor coldly. Like I bother. Delayed his time. Looking down and pressing the phone to look at the screen. Since I woke up. I opened the door to see the mountains. Have a good rest. I didn't wait for me to react. He stood up and prepared to leave. When I walked to the ward and opened the door. I don't know if it is the remaining conscience in my heart. He turned back and told me. Have a good rest. I smile. I waited until he left the door before falling to the mask. Until then my expression. Someone knows. Qin Zhang and I are in love. Qin Zhang and I are campus love. After graduating that year, we drifted together. Enter the top company in Moat for market planning. I knew at that time. Public affairs are not good. So I have never mentioned our relationship with anyone tacitly. After 4 years, we all promoted the business manager. Bring 2 departments PK. At this time, we can't disclose our feelings. So we have been underground. I have hesitated to ask him if he wants to make it public. After all, the company has no explicit regulations. Can't fall in love. But every time he was absent-minded, he passed away. I don't know if we are couples now. But today I know that the doctor talked to Qin. I may have temporary amnesia. But I don't have to worry. I will recover soon. In the case where many logic is not right. He even said to me. We are ordinary friends. I'm probably not afraid of the question after I remember. He doesn't care if I am really amnesia. Are you joking with him? He probably wanted to break up, right? Also don't break up. How did he go to chase Li Qingqing in a good name? Women's sixth sense is often better than radar. Actually before that. My relationship with Qin Zhang is already bland. We have been together for too long. It has been 7 years from sophomore to now. We are familiar with the other person like holding our palm lines. So he can't hide me if he has any changes. Probably a new internship in his department. The watery spirit is called Li Qingqing. Surname Li. HR, who manages the employee's admission file, used to have gossip with me. His employment information. The father's column was filled with Li Nian. This is Bai Fumei, the 2nd generation of the boss of our company. Work in your own department. At first Qin Zhang explained to me why he took care of Li Qingqing like this. Surprising her is not good. And a childish little girl is not the type I like. You really think too much. I didn't remind him. This childish little girl is 2 years older than me. But I silently recognized his reason. Later, I don't know if he is too serious. I still didn't want to hide it from me at all. Within half a month after Li Qingqing's employment. One day I log into the music account he didn't use for a long time. I found that he and Li Qingqing got closely related. I have been busy with work in the past 2 years. He hasn't listened to the song for a long time. This account was used in our university. At that time we listened to songs together. When listening to songs online, 13,896 hours often pass. At that time, he also created a song list named Me for Me. In the song list, he would think of my little love song when he heard it. There are songs I like singer. There are songs that I share on the circle of friends. There is a cold and summer vacation. Different in love. He missed my song. I took a look. He deleted this song list except in the recent listening to the catalog. He will not be interested at all. The Korean trend song that Li Qingqing often listens to. We are doing market planning. I just want to be close to the current trend of the young market. I think too much. So I won't be calm. Just silently exited his account. I am a man. There is no substantial evidence that it will not make a lot of fanfare. questioning him. After all, the last person who can do the last at the table always express the least expressions and words. Certainly. He and Li Qingqing's tacit understanding and coincidence are not only here. In February, he took the project team to pick up a project. I took the team to handle another project in the field. I just occasionally heard that the docking of his project is a difficult British. I'm busy myself. I haven't had time to eat all day long. Call him first. Ask him project progress. He did not pick up. I'm busy. I sent him a WeChat. He has never returned to me. Later, I saw him in the circle of friends and sent a photo of a team. Li Qingqing stood by his side with a scissors. The project is about smoothly. His friend's circle copywriting is a confidant and knowing one. Li Qingqing has the same circle of friends in the same circle of friends. Copywriting is endless battle. I clicked in and found that their WeChat signature has become this. It's like in this project. Those tacit understanding that only knows each other. Echo. His previous WeChat signature was sailing. Highway is in October because of my name. I don't know if he remembered that the moment we changed our WeChat signature had remembered me. It should be no right? Because he has never returned to me call. I didn't reply to my WeChat. But in the circle of Li Qingqing's friends, I ordered takeaway eating. I touched my hungry stomach at that time. Close the phone. This is my second thing I endure. I was discharged from the hospital 3 days later. The doctor observed that there was no love and let me leave this day. I have not received any news from Qingjiang. But the instructor sent a bouquet to flowers over. I like cappuccino. I hold the bouquet of cappuccino. Decide to give Qingjiang a chance. I sat in the corridor of the hospital for a long time to pass. I asked Qingjiang gently. I was discharged from hospital today. Do you have time to pick me up? We all tacitly have not mentioned frustration and ordinary friends. This is as if he has never appeared. He didn't speak. After a while before talking. Sorry. October, I'm busy. Unable to go. I call you a car. What are you busy? I asked calmly. It's paused over there. Probably an accident. I have always been considerate to break the casserole in the end, ask for the end. Because I know that we have just ended in the same project. It's the time when we are the most free time. He said he was busy. He didn't speak. I sigh. The phone that hangs up by yourself. Men's love and dislike. Really obvious. I remember that I would just graduate. I sudden gastroenteritis at 3 in the morning. I called him a phone call before a coma. Later I woke up. I found that he was sitting in front of my hospital bed. Wear slippers with one foot. Put a sneakers with a foot. The key is that both shoes are still on the left. I can't help but smile. He was afraid of. The eyes are red instantly. I also laughed at the moment when you lay on the ground. I almost stopped my heart after the heart is stopped. If I didn't receive your phone call. How dangerous. I looked at him with a smile at the time. Dependence. But in my heart, you are the safest. You see, he used to care about me like this. It turns out that we have also had such a sincere love that loved each other. Even if it's almost all right now. But think of these past events that have been distant. The corner of the mouth will still have a fuzzy smile of self-deprecation. I shake my head. Throw the cappuccino in his hand into the trash can next to. Don't you like this bunch of flowers? Someone asked me behind. Looking back is a very strange man. Explore the flowers in the trash can apology. Excuse me. Yesterday, the driver accidentally hit you and I sent you to the hospital. After contacting your emergency contact. Because there is something to leave. This is a gift of discharge. In addition, I have settled your hospitalization fee. I'm really embarrassed. If there are other needs, you can tell me directly. I can't help laughing. Even the bouquet of flowers was sent by others. I look up. Sorry. Excuse me. I thought it was sent by others. I sighed in my heart and said, I have always been a reasonable and decent person. Repair and support. It does not mean that I am weak. Bully. Qingjiang and I are really in the end. When I went back from the hospital, Qingjiang is already at home. I opened the door. When walking in, he is sitting on the sofa. TV on TV. The variety show he is not interested in. And he held his phone in his hand to bow his head. Probably chatting with who is. Corner of the mouth laugh. The micro light of the mobile phone screen is cast on his face. Inexplicably gentle. I have forgotten how long have I not seen this gentle smile on his face. I stop at the door. He is too investing. I didn't even hear the sound of my door opening. Until I gently called his name Qin Zhang. He put away the smile on his face. Look up silently. My eyes fell in his hands. He subconsciously locks the phone in his hand. Then buckle on the sofa. A little surprised. I looked at me in surprise and asked you to be discharged from the hospital. I really laughed at this time. LOL. He laughed with a smile. I gently stared at him to alienate the indifferent soft voice. Let's talk about it. My breakup with Qin Zhang can be called peace. We are all calm people. The whole breakup process is not as use. Everyone is mature. Adults talk. Everything is placed on the bright side. In fact, there is nothing to talk about. I don't think about it. After I tell us we broke up. He didn't ask me. Why is it just silent? I think he should feel relieved at that moment. After a while. He said to me. Sorry. I didn't accept his apology. It's just a very calm arrangement. My tone after breaking up. Calm. The expression is also not sad. I surprised Qin Zhang like this. After I proposed to let him move out as soon as possible. He suddenly interrupted. I asked you in October, you don't seem to be sad at all. He frowned slightly on my face. Focusing on the inquiry, it seems that the man is really ridiculous. Even if he doesn't love me anymore. Even if the result of breaking up is what he dreams. But seeing me so frank. Calm. Unwilling. Maybe in his thoughts. I should cry. He begged him to stretch out a little bit of pride in the boredom. I look up at him without emotion. I didn't tell him. I have already been sad. Don't return to me WeChat. But when Li Qingqing just sent a comment below the circle of friends. In the song list he created for me. Just to listen to the Korean trend song with Li Qingqing he loves to listen to. He pretended to be frustrated. I speak. When we are ordinary friends. Where he can't see it. When Li Qingqing was immersed in the ambiguous atmosphere of adults pushed down. I have already been sad. For me. It's like a benign tumor growing in the body. There is no fatal level there is there. But you know. If you let it go. This tumor will deteriorate slowly. A little eroding your health and vitality. Nothing terrible. As long as he is still benign. Just remove him. Pain is just temporary. But I will eventually get healthy. Before Qin Zhang finished picking up things and left. I asked him calmly and blandly. Last sentence. Qin Zhang. You change your heart. It's because Li Qingqing is Li Nie's daughter. Still. Because he likes her, he is standing in the porch. When you see him as early as the beginning. Tall and upright. The handsome face has accumulated the calm maturity of the unmoved maturity compared to the time at that time. I always thought he was still the young man who stood in front of me with a red face on the playground. Until this time. I just realized. I don't know when it will start. He has become an adult that weighs the advantages and disadvantages in the deep sea. He paused and said. In October, people always want to go to a high place to make me can't help. But I respect him's frankness. I watched him smile sincerely. I said Qin Zhang. Then I wish you a Hongya Gao Fei. Wishes for thousands of miles. His eyes fell on my face. There is a faint regret in the deep eyes. This regret is compared with his thin ambitions. Probably insignificant. Finally, he sighed. Explain. Don't hate me in October. I ignore him. Disadvantages of office love. Probably after breaking up. No way. Dead of forgetting the rivers and lakes. No matter what. People always have to go to work. Unconscious. I saw Qin Zhang and Li Qingqing. Not. Only they. And other colleagues in their team. For meals, they probably go to dinner together. Li Qingqing is very lively. With a beautiful smile on his face. Facing the road. Facing Qin Zhang. I don't know what to say with my hand dancing. Qin Zhang's mouth laughed with a smile. Watching her gently. From time to time, pay attention to the flow of people behind her. When she is about to hit someone, pull her arm to avoid. Very familiar. Very strange. After we break up, he looks happy. I have been waiting in the car until their backs disappear in the Hong Kong-style restaurant downstairs. The drivers gossip in front of the driver. Ask you crush on that tall and handsome guy. I laughed and explained. That's my ex-boyfriend. The master's eyes instantly changed from gossip to embarrassment. There is an expression that wants to comfort and speaks and stop. I thought of one sentence consideration. It doesn't matter. No effect on me. After entering the company, Ban Lang saw me very happy and greeted. Sister Shuriwei. You are discharged from hospital. Real. You won't let us go to see. You and I laughed. Go. Say. Nothing hinders. To say. I'm not good at this. How about the recurrence of that case in Hong Kong? He took the printed information and followed me back to my office. Give me a stack of information in your hand. Then I looked at the outside office. No one is. He came over and whispered. Sister Shuriwei, don't read the data first. I want to tell you some things. I put down the things in my hand. Look up at the expression on his face. I don't know why some anger said. October sister. Do you know that you will go to the Nanjing branch next month, right? We are all saying that after he is gone. Empty director position. Probably between you and Xinjiang. These years, your two performances are equivalent. I don't want to chew your tongue roots with you. Originally. Finally, whether you are or Xinjiang. We are all convinced and orally. But he said here. Don't know why. The expression was a little hesitant or even biting his lower lip. A difficult look. I smiled. Tone and warmth. It doesn't matter. Just two of us. Just say it directly. He paused. Then whispered. But I saw Qin Zhang and Li Qingqing in his department in the tea room a few days ago. Li Qingqing is suspicious of the boss's daughter. It's not a secret in our company. That's why Bang Lang is so angry. Probably because Qin Zhang is not martial arts. My hand rolled the edge of the information. Suddenly want to laugh. It turned out that I was holding a mobile phone in the hospital. What Qin Zhang, who has no news, is doing without the news. He is pregnant. But this is also expected. I laughed at myself and laughed and soothed Ban Lang. Its appointment to mobilize. It was arranged by the superior. Focus on his position. Just let it go naturally. I sigh. I lower my head and continue watching the data. Qin Zhang came over to knock my office. When the glass door is. I'm surprised. After all, in my concept. Although our breakup is calm and not torn off my face. But that only means that I am an individual. Does not mean me and Qin Zhang. You can also gossip. Parenting a normal colleague who has nothing to do with it. If it is not necessary. I think we probably don't want to have any private communication with the other party. Until I know his intention. He stood in front of my desk. Tall. The eyes fell calmly on me. Say it for a while. October. I thought you would be angry. His tone seemed to persuade. It's like advice again. October, we are together for 7 years together. Don't say. I am ruthless. I will go to Nanjing next month. Someone between us will be promoted to his position to replace my position. If I will do it early. Plan to find a back road for yourself. I look at him. I understand what he means. He is determined to sit in that position. I persuade me to leave. Otherwise, wait for him to become director. Boss. Daughter. His girlfriend again. In order to avoid gossip. He probably forces me to take the initiative to leave. Now the prevention needle is a kind persuasion of his kindness. Persuade me to make a living again as soon as possible. I can accept a man's thoughts and changing hearts. It is really not worth a test of things like to persuade me. But I didn't expect. He didn't even maintain the last human nature. I'm like watching a stranger. Look at him. Said in his eyes. The first sentence swear words Qin Zhang. You are really a garbage. He is silent. Li Qingqing and I dealt with the first time. Just 1 week after this conversation with Qin Zhang. After breaking up with me. Always on the grounds that the relationship in the office is not good. The uninterrupted Qin Zhang and Li Qingqing are high profile together. I see their colleagues from countless companies under the circle of friends who show love. Only my friends when I was in college with Qin Zheng. I was shocked on WeChat and asked me what happened to me. I didn't return one by one. Li Qingqing appeared on the day of me in front of me. It is a very ordinary afternoon. The people in the office either eat up, either lying on the station rest. I hold a cup. Species coffee beans and tea between a person. Mellow coffee. The smell is filled with a little bit. He appeared quietly behind me. As a sight of him, let him open a way. He hasn't walked over. Just stand in front of me. I look at me a little significantly. Say a word abruptly. I know you talked to Aijin. He looks like a baby face. He lowered his head and looked at me slightly with a slightly eyebrow. Is a doubtful expression. He looked up at me. The eyes slipped from my face a little. I probably do not get the reaction I want. He was a little disappointed. Then I paused to continue to say. I see his song list named you. And the confidentiality of your underground relationship is not good. I waited for him to finish silently. He said my dad likes Qin Zheng very much. You know Qin Zheng. Young. Mature. Have an idea. Be responsible for. My father said. Qin Zheng is very similar to him when he was young. My dad wants to cultivate him. Qin Zheng's future is not limited. I just like him very much, he likes me and I like me. Now we are together. But Xiao, in October, your existence is pretty good. I hope you resign yourself by yourself. Then I know what his intention is. First of all. Then knock. Finally follow the temptation. I advise me to leave myself to leave. Hold a cup. Look calm. Calm. Even with a little smile. I look down at him. Miss Li needs to go through the personnel changes in any employee. You come to me today to say such a thing. I don't know if I want to fire me or what. If you want to dismiss me. The company's explicit regulations, please let HR come to me to talk about. Tell me the reason for being fired. His face is clear and innocent. Maybe I didn't expect that I would not eat hard and hard. I turn around and leave. His face changed. Add a word. Right. The personnel changes of employees above the manager level. Need the chairman to personally approve the newspaper. That is. The entire company can dismiss me. Only the chairman, Miss Li. You are just the intern of the Xinjiang department. The hand extend is a bit too long. Finish. I'm too lazy to see his face. Go out with a cup. I have a conversation with Li Qingqing shortly after this conversation. Aben's Nanjing appointed mobilization notice came out. Before he leaves, the chairman prepared a banquet for him. All people at the company's management level attended. They are all bosses of various departments. I know. Except for Abram practiced. The personnel of the total core department will also change with it. The manager of the personnel department will invite the invitation letter to my desk. I face the dishes. He is the person I brought out in person. He is lying on the table. Ghost me first. Come on. Then he said a word solemnly. Sister Shuriwei. No matter what. Our group is standing behind you. If you can't mix it here anymore, we go to other places with you. I laughed and held an invitation letter. Tapped gently on his head. What do you say instead of tenderness? But Emil. What are you forgotten? What is my life creed? Bridge. Fengshan open road. What are you afraid of? Not to mention that it will not be a meal. I was emotional that day. I was very stable. In the box. Personnel Department of Marketing Department Management Department. Department of Finance. The person in charge of the business line gathers together. Chairman Lin Ya sitting on the main seat. Li Qingqing sat on his left hand and Qin Zheng was sitting beside Li Qingqing. The moment everyone saw Li Qingqing, I glanced calmly and glanced at each other. After all, it was just a rumor before. Now he is sitting next to Lin Ya, he is sitting next to Lin Ya. Even if it really implements the rumor. But Lin Ya did not take the initiative to introduce. Everyone is pretending. I don't know. No one asked for the initiative. I sit beside the sister of the Ministry of Finance in a satisfactory manner. Should eat. Should drink. The entertainment speaking is entertainment. It's silent to be silent. Everyone didn't talk about business affairs. The protagonist of this banquet is Aben. in addition to reviewing his contribution to the company. I wish him a fist on the Nanjing branch. Flag to win. Until 30. Almost all of them are greeting. Lin Ye just put down the chopsticks. Speaking of the theme of this meal. He is well maintained in his early 50s. The expression is as spiritual as the 40 years old. Look like a torch. Scan the person in a circle of seats. Then pick up the meal cloth and wipe your mouth. He said. This time, accept Aben's practice. Actually, there is another thing to say. I put down the chopsticks in my hand. Look up at him. Yu Guang accidentally saw Qin Zhang next to him. There was a faint smile on the corner of his mouth. Young talent is more stable. And Li Qingqing, who is sitting next to him, is very good. I retracted my eyes and lowered my eyes. Take the towel aside. Start rubbing your hands slowly. Lin Ye's voice is low and gentle. Everyone knows I have only one daughter. When he first graduated, I arranged him to work in the company. My daughter is more temperamental. I don't want people in the company to know his identity. I just want to do it by myself a little bit. He has done a good job over the years. I have heard you more than once, you have boasted in front of me. I am very pleased. It's almost time now. I happen to be transferred to Nanjing. I think it's time to introduce him to you. His gaze. From the seats of everyone to me quietly. With smiles and faint pride. He stretched out his hand to me. Tone and gentle manner. Come here in October. It's time for everyone to recognize people. I calmly lowered the napkin in my hand and smiled. In a dead silence. Only the sound of the water cup on the hand of Qin Zhang's hand was overturned. I follow the prestige. His expression was calm. Smiling with a smile. Feel sorry. Wipe the table with a paper towel. Do not panic or chaos. Not embarrassed. Then he looked up at me. The face is slightly pale. Can't see the emotions deep in the bottom of the bottom. I take a look at the site. I haven't even glanced at Yu Guang anymore. I just stand up. In the shock eyes of everyone's expression. Walking towards the main seat. Then put on Li Qingqing's shoulder with a pale face. Polite and softly. Miss Li, trouble you. I heard the exclaiming of who made it out. Inflow a bite of air conditioning sound. After this meal achieves the purpose of the desired. Satan soon. I can imagine how much the company will cost the company tonight. I'm more curious. Qin Zhang once told me. In October, people always want to go high. I don't know if he has left now. On the way to height. I didn't look at him. I'm too lazy to hand over a look. Just a scattered field. He and Li Qingqing, who lost his soul, came over to say hello to my father. When you leave. I heard his forbearing greetings. President Li Xiao. Let's go first. I didn't speak. My dad's eyes explored the torch that landed in Qin Zhang like a torch. On his face, he glanced at Li Qingqing next to him. Just laughed for a moment. A pair of easygoing appearance. Well. The people in the box are finished. The smile on his face converged a little bit. He looked at me. What's wrong with you and Qin Zhang? Yes. I have erected Qin Zhang in front of him. When I first graduated. But didn't tell him. Qin Zhang and I are interacting. But with his experience, you can probably guess. I laughed and faced with Lin Yan's review. Coldly. Didn't you see it? Is it robbed by Li Qingqing? His mother is good at intervening in other people's love. His daughter is naturally inherited. I paused. Speaking a word to worsening the tone. Dad. The last time I called Lin Yan. Dad is 7 years old. At that time he had just divorced my mother. At the door of the villa. I pulled his sleeves and kept asking Dad. Why do moms and dad divorce you? You speak. He didn't say he didn't understand when he was a kid. It wasn't until a little older that the grievances between adults. My father and Li Qingqing's mother Qing Mei bamboo horse. Li Qingqing's mother suspects my dad is poor. After marrying. My dad married my mother. My mother accompanied him to start a little bit. After being bigger. Li Qingqing's mother took Li Qingqing to divorce in front of my dad. At that time. Lin Yan is young and vibrant. For the poverty and richness of the green plums. But the more he feels about. The more difficult it is to forget the past in the elders. My mother never says carefully. In front of me. always maintaining my dad decent. He is a chic and decent person. After being betrayed. Divorce. But after he divorced Linya. Linya did not marry Li Qingqing. Mom just supports him. He has no beads on that day. Li Qingqing's original name is not called Li Qingqing. Surname King. Probably to please Linya. He changed his surname to Li at the age of 8. He and him. The mother who has occupied the nest is proud to flutter. He and his mother don't know me. I know them. I know this is the year of the age of 8. I secretly returned to the villa from my mother. Seeing Linya's birthday to Li Qingqing. He and 10-year-old Li Qingqing hugged in his arms. Li Qingqing's mother stood beside him. 3 people laughed on their faces. As if this is the family. After that, I never called Linya's father again. Even rarely meet. I only know that my parents are divorced. I renamed the name with my mother's surname, called Xiao October. Later I graduated. Linya asked me to go to his company. His original words. I have no children over the years. Only you. Do you still do and understand your mother? He is my biological. The Jiangshan and my mother and I do not give you to you. Your aunt always wants his daughter to enter the company to learn. I blocked it back. October. Dad hurts me. My mother is a proud and high woman in her bones. She divorced Li Niet that year. One of the other divided into 2 except the one that should be taken into 2. I am different from her. It's my stuff. Why do I give up? The more things that make others unhappy, the more happy I am. So graduated with Qin Zhang to join the job. Do it from the bottom layer of the core business department. Li Nian knows Qin Zhang followed him. Boast that he is young. It is said that his future is not limited. But because I have started on Li Nia, he has started him. My family personnel relationship is complicated. I originally wanted to wait until Li Nia explained the day with Qin Zhang. I didn't expect him to surprise me. Li Nia looked at me. The first time I saw from his face, the look of tiredness. He sighed. Say it is Dad, I'm sorry for you. I laugh. Men's nature. I just suddenly thought of the words that Li Qingqing said when I was looking for me in the tea room before. He said. Li Nia said that Qin Zhang was like him when he was young. I think they are really like. In a lustfulness. Cross the river to disassemble the bridge. Oh, there is no vision. I returned to the company again. After 3 days. The news of these 3 days is enough. People in the company have digested. When I go back. Everyone does not change color. As long as I don't go around as usual, I asked Dong to ask the West. Just laughing is more enthusiastic than ever. They are all human beings in the workplace. Hold the right point of just right. This made me relieved. The attitude is as usual. Only Mind Lang gave birth to me. He complained that he was worried about me for a long time. I didn't expect that I was a half pig to eat a tiger. Finally, I was read by my seafood. He asked me with lobster legs. You are the real young lady. What is Li Qingqing? I didn't hide it from him. Explained the things from this briefly with him. He was shocked. Heaven. There will be such a shameless person in this world. Still the name of the big boss Tianjin. Scam. Too disgusting. October sister. You are not here. These days. Many people secretly gossip with me. Can you tell them this matter? I really can't see the high toe of Li Qingqing's toe. It's really time. I didn't expect a raccoon cat to change the prince. I don't know what he is. I peeled the legs of lobster for him. Laugh. Casually say. This is not a secret. Someone asked. Just say you want to say. I have no underestimation of Ba Lang's combat power. But one afternoon. The company knows that Li Qingqing's bottom is fine. When I go to the financial department to take the project approval budget. Seeing Li Qingqing standing in front of Sister Fan's table. Sister Fan clewed her eyebrows and pointed at the budget reimbursement form to ask Li Qingqing. Why do you still have to go to the company's account for reimbursement? This approval is not approved. In addition, other reimbursement items suggest you take a closer look. Check. Do not want any personal items to take the company's account reimbursement. Her face became embarrassing in the voice of Sister Fan. Then pick up the reimbursement table on the table. Before leaving, I glanced at me fiercely. As if I was instructed. I didn't speak. Since the disclosure of my identity, I started to contact all lines of the company. This will have a clearer understanding of the company's macro development. Certainly. Qin Zhang did not rise to the director. For the time being, Alberti is controlled in Nanjing. After I came out, the position of my manager is empty. The egg guy also needs to be practiced again. So digging a business manager from other large companies. Top replacement of the original job change. After confirmation, people who are familiar with the company send WeChat or text messages to congratulate me. I only have 2 exceptions. I don't know if I'm guilty or angry. After she returned to the company. Really and Li Qingqing have been hiding from me. Actually it doesn't need to. I am limited. A little bit of the company's things. Can't tell them to pay attention to them. What's more? But they may not think so. Li Qingqing came to me first. The same empty tea room. The same coffee beans are just her expression. From the high toe of the lingering toe to the anger. He stood behind me. Hate. Hypocritical. I ignore him, he continues to say. At first, your mother pretended to be a look that didn't care about anything. Go away. What do you say when you say old and die? I thought you were really not attentive to the Li family's assets. I did not expect that this kind of pretending to pretend to be so clear-hearted. Actually, it is not really snatched back in private. If you are really noble, do not care. I look down on Li's assets and should go far. Not to mention, said in my heart. Really hypocritical and disgusting. I laughed at me. In fact, I really laughed. I actually don't want to deal with people who are not smart. Especially Li Qingqing. Dan Lang once asked if I have thought about how to organize my family. This says that no one believes me. Never thought about it at all. Because as long as he naturally has others in the company, he has embarrassing embarrassment. If you are not in the company's pain, it will never be me. He has been there in Xinjiang except Xinjiang. I have a sense of existence in my brush. I have never regarded him as an opponent from beginning to end. He is not qualified enough. I look at him. Gently. It's like watching a jumping beam clown. Li Qingqing will not say this kind of stupidity in the future. Look at you like such a rushing corrupted look. I just take back my own things. Your expression is as distressed as if I dig the meat and cut my heart. If I go home, I will advise your mother. Think about the new method to get in the heart of the old man. So pitiful. For so many years. Your mother and daughter tried their best to please Payon Li. In the end, except for the thin amount of living expenses every month. Not even a house. But rest assured. I took over the company. You and your mother's living expenses will not be broken. It is the hard work of you and your mother to coax the old man's happy money. Should be taken. His face. In my words. Gradually pale. Finally pale. I don't know where I thought of where I laughed again. As if I found the strength to attack me. I said, but you are Xiao Shuan. I am not nothing. You have loved a boyfriend for 7 years. I don't lift my eyelids now, not my eyelids. Rubbish. It should stay in the trash can. He is yours and you are yours. What are you showing off? I think. Li Qingqing selected. Qin Zhang may like him. But maybe in his eyes. Qin Zhang is the youngest manager in the company's leadership. Qin Zhang added his eyes again. He may think that Qin Zhang's future is far more than one department director. He needs to stand firmly at the company. Qin Zhang is his best helper. I want to from a certain aspect. Qin Zhang and Li Qingqing are indeed quite good. They are blunt. Mutual use. Seek each other. The last 2 hands are empty. Disappointed. Thinking of this is laughing. Finish. I'm really annoying. Looking at him with a decent man and a gentle manner. This is the last time I have a good temper to you. Li Qingqing. Hope you know fun. Being a human in the company. Otherwise, I promise me that I am not always so good-tempered. The eye circles, he said, are red. It's a pity that I'm not Qin Zhang who can't do it. I stand in place and talk about laughter. Appreciate him. The tears in Qin Zhang's eyes lamented in his heart. These tears are really pleasing to the eye. Qin Zhang's departure is in my expectation. I really can't think of the reason he left. All his departure procedures are going on a normal process. I have never asked. until all his processes are finished. On the last day of leaving the company, I don't know how to send me a message and ask me if I can talk about it. I don't know what I have to talk with him. Open my identity in Ren. That night he also called me a phone call. Tell me. Waiting for me under my building. Just in the past few days. Let me go back to the house for a few days. He wants to sort out the company's interpersonal relationship. I didn't return to my own house. I didn't reply to him. Later, he knew it. Don't bother me again. I don't know if it's the last light this time. Actually, I didn't return to him. He still came to find me. I have always admired some of his temperament on his body. Perhaps this is a characteristic that people who can succeed. He can pretend. Just like there have been unbearable betrayal between us. He is so calm. Make me doubt. Is my memory deviation? His eyebrows can't see any emotions. It's even like an old friend. Smile. Standing at the door and asking me. Talk. I am silent. He came in. Give me a cup of coffee. I take over. We are standing side by side in front of a huge floor-to-ceiling window. Drooping. A high-rise building rising from the ground. Brilliant light. Look from the transparent glass. It's like being in the galaxy's starry sky. I heard the sighs of love around. Remember when we first came to work? That's almost 5 years ago. 2 college students who just graduated. Also standing at such a high level lighting out of the window. At that time. He is ambitious. Ready to show your fists. But the most inconspicuous work is arranged. Later. He won 1 million orders with his ability. I still remember that he covered his stomach to drink. Drinking the stomach pain, but still pale my face and looking at me. He said I will give you a home in this city in October. Later, this big order became his superior's performance. He only got 500 yuan. He took these 500 yuan and asked me to eat a hot pot. He sat opposite me, the hot air was steaming. I can't see the expression on his face. Just remember his voice. That was the first time and the last time I saw a similar blank on his face. He asked me. October. When will we be out of place like this? After that meal. I went to Linya. Since he divorced my mother. My mother has never seen him again. Not to mention his money. His resources. Even if he gives me an unlimited bank card. My mother and I have never used it. That's the first time I asked him to conquer for Qin. I still remember the expression of Linya's surprise. Find me to help me. He is undoubtedly happy. But I also remember what he means. Work hard in society in October. If you can't even deal with this. Need me to help. Then he is not worthy of being my son-in-law's son-in-law. Although this is the case. But he cares about. He praised him a few words in public. That is to indicate the lantern Xinjiang. After that, the career is naturally water. He himself is smart. Capable. I just didn't expect to be on this way. I don't know when we have been drifting away. He is like the champion of ancient high school. Want to pass the favor of princess. 1-step climb. This may be his psychological sense. His tone came from the time and space of the past. Sigh with nostalgia. Why did we become like this? I laughed with Qin Zhang. Don't play emotional cards with me. I understand your actions that weigh the pros and cons. But now don't let me look down on you anymore. He also laughed. Looking at me for a moment. I don't continue to say anymore. After a while. The smile at the corner of his mouth converged little by little. The expression revealed a bit of seriousness. Is there any way for ordinary friends? October. I have betrayed you. You conceal me. We are flattened. Qin Zhang. I sigh. Looking back at him without waves. I don't know what you mean by what you mean. The flatness in your mouth is based on the identity of my daughter Linya's daughter. Have you never thought about it? If I were not Linya's daughter. So what am I going to do now? I watched you and the daughter of the chairman of the big company secretly Chinsong. Embarrassed. And I am under your power and coercion. I have to choose to resign. According to the competition agreement. What can I not be engaged in the work of the same industry? My accumulation over the years. The work of these years. The hard work of these years has become the stepping stone of you and Li Qingqin's affectionate feet. When I was drinking cold wind on the street, I lost my soul and lost my soul. I think you and Li Qingqing should enjoy the most beautiful life in the high-rise building in the city center. Qin Zhang. You tell me now. We are flattened. How do you think we can flatten? At last. I looked at his pale face. Smile. Alienate and indifferent. I said politely. Qin Zhang has nothing to flatten. You owe me in your life. And I am not ready to forgive you a lot. In the future, it is just a stranger to meet the dust from the dust and the soil. Finish. I didn't waste time and continued to talk with him. I raised my hand and glanced at time. Politely say. Do you know? Qin Zhang's back is a little bit embarrassed. Years. I have rarely seen him like this. But this is the way he chose. Later at the industry summit. I have met Qin Zhang once or twice. At that time I had taken over the position of Linya. Wherever you go, all the stars are holding the moon. He stood at the humble starting point of the new company outside the crowd. Climb up a little bit. Not even the qualifications to talk to me. Later, when I was eating with Linya. Occasionally, he listened to Li Qingqing's feelings. Say he is cheated by others. Nothing at all is not long. I don't know when Qin Zhang and Li Qingqing are divided into. But those who gather due to profit are scattered by profit. Not surprisingly. I watched the green garden with the teacup. April spring, the spring of April has already passed again. Patao. Already light boats have passed through thousands of mountains. Full text. For a long time. My memory may be a bit different. This is normal.